Hey guys, welcome back to another Warhammer action figure review. Today we're checking out the Warhammer Darktide figures, starting with the Veteran Guardsman. On the back of the package, we have a picture of the figure itself without any other information of the series or figure. On the side we have a close-up of the figure with its name on the bottom. Just like all the other McFarlane figures, they are easy to remove from the package without tearing the box open. But if you want to get the standout, you will have to rip open the plastic. Veteran Guardsmen are the members of squads that have survived the longest. As casualties over time shrinks the size of the squad, the survivors of those squads are forged into battle-hardened soldiers and promoted to veterans. Over time, these soldiers develop skills in combat and survival, using special and non-standard weaponry not available to regular guardsmen, sometimes even weapons taken from their defeated foes. Many of these veterans may not be from the same regiment, or even from the same homeworld, helping spread new unique combat tactics, even employing untrained tactics like setting up traps. This Guardman uses the armor and gear in the style of the Cadian shock troopers, who are viewed as the most effective of the Guardsmen infantry units. This unnamed soldier is a character you can play in the Warhammer Darktide video game, and looks to be based on the promotional art of the video game. Let's check out the detail. The head of the Guardsman is completely covered in gear, with the gas mask covering the mouth and goggles over the eyes. Only a small patch of skin can be seen on each side. The helmet has a silver winged skull at the center, sculpted with a large crack on one of the sides. On the side of the helmet, we have a large panel with small details like plates and vents sculpted in. Two large leather straps rest over the armor at the chest, with small pouches and a communicator attached to the straps. A small plate hanging by chains is worn at the center, with another winged skull matching the helmet. A lot of layers of armor can be seen here, with a plated vest on top and a cloth-like textured shirt underneath. On the back, the leather straps continue wrapping around the body, while the plated armor is here as well. Large bolted-on plates are attached to the armor, with a rough cloth texture shirt underneath. A large white stripe runs down the center on the small plate of the shoulder armor. The thick cloth texture of the arms transition into black leather gloves, detailed with a few panels and stitching towards the edges. On the waist, the straps attached to the belt, with the silver belt buckle displaying a small skull. The belt wraps all around the body in a rigid pattern. On the right side of the belt, we have a large canteen hanging from the belt, with another small winged skull decorating it. On the other side, we have a larger pouch and a grenade attached to the belt. More small pouches hang from the thighs, held in place with small straps. The black cloth here is sculpted in a baggy texture, with more wrinkles sculpted near the armor. On the left side, we simply have a large pouch built into the pants. The knees and legs are covered in large plates of dark gray armor, with the pants underneath compressed into a baggy look. The details are wrapped up with the boots of the figure. We have a standard military style black boot, detailed with thick soles, shoelaces, and leather sections. Let's take a look at the articulation. We have a head that rotates, with very little up and downwards range, shoulders that open and rotate. The small plate of armor is made of a soft plastic and can bend out of the way for more range. We have rotation at the bicep, although the shoulder armor does restrict a full rotation. Double jointed elbows with a tight range. Rotating wrists that bend up and down. We do have a ball jointed chest, but that's heavily restricted by the belt straps. We have the same issue with the ball joint at the waist as well, the straps hindering most if not all movement. This could easily be fixed by cutting the straps and letting them hang down. The legs open, but is blocked a bit by the hanging belt accessories. The legs bend forward as well, with the plastic here being soft for a bit more range, although bending the leg back is blocked by the sculpting in the backside. We have a slight bit of rotation at the thighs, with double jointed knees that bend backward. Ankles that bend up and down, twist, and rotate left and right. We do have a joint for the toe to bend upwards, but the sculpt keeps it in place. Standing at 6.5 inches, the Veteran Guard definitely does not scale true to the Warhammer scale. But McFarlane Toys usually sets everything to their own 7-inch scale anyways. I've set the figure up next to a few other figures to get a better look at where the Guardsmen can fit into. We get a very small las pistol, painted with the silver grip, a small sized chainsword, detailed with silver blades and the winged skull, and we get the usual McFarlane stand with the Warhammer logo on it. The Veteran Guardsman is a great figure to fill out the ranks of your Warhammer collection. McFarlane continues to give us more different unit types, and the Guardsmen are a great addition to have by your Space Marines. While the figure is based on the promotional art from the Warhammer Darktide video game, the armor is still true to the original look of the Cadian Guardsmen and could fill in that spot very well. The sculpting is loaded with details as well, with different textures on different gear, and comes with unique weapons not seen so far in the series. While the promotional art for the figure has him mostly in black gear, the lack of paint on the Warhammer series of figures is the biggest complaint I have with these figures. While McFarlane does use the small amount of paint very well, painting the spots that will give the biggest impact, there's just so many details in the sculpt that get washed out by being the same color as everything else. The lack of paint keeps the price of the figures low, and this figure is at a price that would make it great for an army builder, especially the blank alternate version. One other issue with this figure is the articulation for the chest and waist. The belt straps cut off way too much range of motion for such a small detail. An easy fix would be to remove the belt when wanting a dynamic pose, but it's glued onto the figure. So a small cut to let the straps hang freely would fix it. Having a Guardsman figure is a dream come true, and hopefully we can see all the other styles of Guardsmen released from McFarlane, especially the Death Korps of Krieg. If you're familiar with McFarlane's Warhammer line, you know what to expect out of this figure. Great details with a bit of extra paint touch-up needed to be done. I think it's great that McFarlane is releasing a ton of different sculpts for the Warhammer line, and there's so much cool stuff left in the Warhammer universe that can still be released. It's a decent figure that needs a bit of paint, some modding if you plan to pose him dynamically, but for the price, it's a good figure that can be put into any collection as a generic soldier. Overall, if you're a fan of Warhammer, the Veteran Guardsman makes a great addition to your collection. He's already out in stores now, so check him out. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Check out my other videos, subscribe, or leave a comment, it really helps me out.